which file handles my input? It's the X loop. Event loop. Grab source event loop. I post to each file. Each test program has its own event loop. Let's use this one. Okay, there it is. So this is called event loop indeed, but it's window event loop. I don't know what the other event loop is. That's confusing. Well, this one has X events, and then it just gets events from the X server, this line, and then handles them. I wonder which event I get when I close the window. It's probably not exposed. Keep pressing release. Mouse buttons. Client message. Delete window. Yeah, okay. So if I click on the close button of the window, then it says running to false. And currently, if I press some key on my keyboard, then it said running also to false. Unless it's the print screen key, which I just hijacked here by key code. I decided not to put time yet into using XKB to do all the keyboard layout stuff and my priority currently is printing chess diagrams on my new printer. I bought a printer especially to print chess problems that I make. And I googled for it and I can't find it, so I'm going to implement it myself. I could find some stuff, but yeah, you know, if you do it yourself, then it's just better. So it's idiot. What is this break doing here, all on its own? Can anyone explain that to me? Strange. Okay, so either way, running is set to false, and that's when I want to terminate everything. Hi, Nino. Running is false, so we leave this loop. And we get here, and then everything hangs because the graphical main loop of the main thread doesn't know anything. I mean, only if that tries to terminate, tries to leave its own loop, it will wait for this thread to exit. But when this thread already exited, then yeah, main loop just happily continues running. So I'm going to send an event. We already have that support here. I can just send a message. Just before leaving, we send a message. Terminate program. And I have to include apparently an X and a Y coordinate, but I don't really care about that. Actually, I might as well leave that out. It's a brace initialization, so it's going to initialize until there's nothing left and the rest is now filled with zeros. So we initialize this and the rest is zeros. A push message puts it in a FIFO buffer, and then that is being picked up by my main thread. And that's part of window. Actually, it's part of the test application. So for example, this one, I have this loop. This used to be a while loop at the top. So while true, do something, and then optionally I could break out of it. I changed that to do while handle input events. The handle input event was called handle dragging. So specifically, after you drag a point, then the whole thing has to be redrawn. So that's what the command says, block until a redraw is necessary. But now I also allow this function to return false, and then yeah, it joins with the event loop, which means the event loop was just exited. So now we really just fall through here and then terminate the application. So I want handle input events to get that message, see that the program must be terminated, and then return false, and then everything should work. Handle input events is doing the following: while have message, case terminate program, return false. So I already implemented it, and everything should just work now. So before these changes, I could not, well, there's a lot of changes actually, because I renamed the mouse event to input event. And I renamed, something else. What was it? Oh, yeah, handle dragging is now called handle input event. Before these changes, I could not close the window. Now I should be able to. So I just enter, press enter. Window closes. Yay! Press any other key, space, window closes. Just click here, window closes. There's not just one downside of these changes. It doesn't draw anything anymore. Oops. I don't know why. Well, actually it did draw it, but then wiped it again. Already saw that. Then drag this and you see that it draws stuff. It draws it and then it disappears again. Now, find that. I also implemented this as if I pressed the print screen button, then you see that that arrives here. So press it a few times. Key press, and 107 is received. So then I want to print it, and I release again. And nothing is dead. I can still drag it. Oh, for a second there I thought. Right. So yeah, what did go wrong? That's pretty nasty. I have no fucking clue. Can't have anything to do with the inputs here. I mean, input events. Why would I have to do anything to do? Why would it have? Why would it have any influence? So this, I don't have to change this back. Just okay. Let's see. I want to do a few changes again. And then see if that still works, and then get the diff between what I did then and this. Oh boy, Git, where's my Git expert? Guess I can just use different branches. So let's commit this to a new branch. How shall I call it? Handle input events. I think that Jiminy can help me here. How to commit the current changes in my working directory to a new branch using Git. I find using checkout very dangerous. It's probably right, but still. Maybe I'll just Google it. It is the checkout command. You can just do this and then you're on a new branch and then you can commit it there. Okay. Or switch, apparently. So now it does draw. And I'm going to redo the following changes. Well, at least we start with renaming, because that's a lot of stuff, so it doesn't really do anything. So I rename mouse event to input event. And I rename, there was another one here. Rename handle dragging to handle input events. And of course that makes no difference whatsoever. Okay. Now I can commit this. Git commit everything. Rename. Stuff. I really don't care. Two things. Name two things. Okay. So now my master has shifted, and I want to really I want to rebase the other one. So it's easier to see the diff, I think. Let me just use Google on the start also. So how to rebase a branch to the top of master. I'm on the branch, say working, I want to merge in the changes from another branch, say master. Then I run git merge master. Well, wait a minute, how do I rebase the current branch change on top of the changes being merged in? That's not what I was looking for. I'm lazy. Just want an example that is exactly what I'm looking for. How to rebase master branch. Yep, this is what I want. Conflicts. No. It's probably very straightforward. Just check out the future branch and then you type get rebase master. So we go back to this one. The C is probably create. Get rebase master. Holy conflicts! Not expected that. bad git. So I think the reason that it failed is that these lines were added, but the diff expected, I don't know, actually. No, I don't know. I'll just fix it. So obviously, these things should be added now. Yeah. Yep, the bool is good. I think it's just always the second one. Kind of like always. Why does this thing not have braces? I'd expect it to be needed. Yeah, might as well add them now. Normally it's only needed when you declare a new variable, but I think that dout might declare a variable. Apparently not, but otherwise it would not have compiled. But I think it looks more cleaner anyway like this. Yeah, just a better comment again and a Boolean return type. Multiple of them. Sorry. Yeah, every file is the same, so no thinking necessary anymore. Git add. vi, the next file, which means quadratic Bezier, and then the one below that, and then we get one more after this. Apparently. Right, git rebase continue. Wait a minute. Just add. Okay, I did it. So this is I need a name. What is it? What am I working on? Termination, better termination, basically. You can just call it the handle. Input events. After renaming. So now we have master, and then this one is on top of it. Okay, it was rebased. And this then has certain changes, some of which I can just apply, I think. I think this is the, maybe this is the big change here. It's that, well, while true and do is of course makes no difference. And then we get here, window handle input event. Yeah, actually it is also the same. Normally it blocks inside this function. Now, well, now it blocks inside this function. The only thing that changes is that now I have the opportunity to return false here. This should not be the issue. And all the tests have the same. This is the same, this is the same. Okay, you have sometimes slightly more complex tests, but not the one that we were looking at, which is this one. It's only that. So it must be in one of these top 4 files then. There's nothing that could cause it. That I see anyway. So yeah. Now in this, so this one should fail. Nope, doesn't do anything. I think I'm just going to start or... Nah. Damn it, man. Okay, I want to get everything from that other branch now in my working directory. So I don't want to merge with it. I just want to apply the div. Don't even know. Okay, this one. So how to do that? This is bullshit. It's definitely wrong. This FF only means fast forward only, but everything is fast forward, so it's just going to do full merge. And then master is moved. Which is not what you want. I don't think cherry pick will work. Nah, bullshit. Switch to another branch without changing the workspace files. Just check out. Really? This will change the workspace files, except for untracked files. Blah. How is it possible that this is so difficult? Frustrated. that work. Right, so now I want to only apply some of this. So let's say I'm gonna do git add -p, and then we have to decide that we want to add it. So yes, I want to add this because this really can't make any change. And then of course they must be defined. So this is a yes as well. And then let's be extremely careful and stop here. Yes. So just adding 3 extra variable values to my which means that I want to stop here, which means q quit, do not say this hunk or any of the remaining ones. And then now we have added stuff, which means that it is in the index. So now I have stuff in the working directory and I have stuff in the index. And what is in the index I want to use, and the rest I don't want to use. And I think that the easiest way is to commit it. If I feel very sure, I might as well commit it to the current branch. I must admit I want to read my own answer on Stack Overflow. Think. Stack Overflow. And then go to myself. And then answers. Oh, where's the button? All answers. Yeah, I only ever made 5 answers. Clear? No. Answers. 105 answers. Now I want to search, obviously. How do I search here? They don't have a search. Seriously. Ah, I think I have it. Well, it wasn't an hour, but so this is my answer for the question. Move existing uncommitted work to a new branch. Yeah. Okay, well, but basically this is what I want. I have partially added stuff, and then now we want to test if that still works, right? We have to do git stash -k. that keeps the index and removes the rest. That is still in the working directory. That's what I wanted. And wasn't added to the index yet. Exactly what you want. Exactly. Now you can try to compile, test and commit. Yeah, okay. I'm going to follow my own instructions here. So this git stash minus k. So now we have still, well, we don't have a git diff anymore, but we have a git diff cached. Is that not like an option? Yeah, that's all what I added. And that this is also, of course, still in the working directory. So now I can just run make. And then test it. And indeed, that did not make a change, adding enums. So now we can commit it, because it worked. It works. Okay. And then we can back the rest of the changes with git stash prop. And now I can try to add a little bit more, like git add minus p. Yeah, I would say that this specific change, where I just add the key code, it shouldn't change anything. Button still exists. It just has to, you have to put detail in front of it, but that's it. So you can say yes here. Can't make a difference, I think. I'm going to say no here because I want just the changes that require the detail in front of it. So this whole thing, what the hell is that doing? Oh, that is adding the key release and implementation of a key press. I think for the 107 thing, but I don't care. So no. Terminating, no. No. We don't have that. Those messages exist, but we don't implement it yet, so we'll never get there, I guess. I need this. Okay, so I need split. Well, I might as well add this already because we added these enums. So, yeah, just say yes here. And here, okay, the detail now is required. So I say yes here, and there's another detail here, and another detail here, and another detail here, and another detail there. For the rest, there's no change, huh? And the closing brace. And I don't return a boolean yet. That's same thing, so no boolean yet. And this the rest is no, I guess. No. Okay, so then we do again a git stash minus k, and then a make. That was an error. Yeah, I can't return false, of course. So I added this thing, but I can't return false, so maybe I should not have added it. Get, okay, this is problematic. So it doesn't work. If you discover that it does not compile, then making changes and adding those also to the index and committing that might confuse get-pop. It isn't that good when it comes to merging. In that case, you probably should just commit anyway. And then create a new branch. Do your work here, change codes, doing testing and more commits. Once everything works, commit it to the new branch. Go back to the old branch and then do the git stash pop with the same working directory as where you were when you push the stash. And then merge the temp branch into it. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Maybe a little bit too much work for this tiny little problem that I have. The question is, does a git stash pop change the index? Does it dump everything out of the index as well or not? So currently I have git diff cached. We have this in the index. Let's just store that index.diff. Yeah, and nothing here. And now we do git stash pop. So it didn't make any change, so that should apply cleanly. And then the question is this still the same thing? Yeah, it is still the same thing. Okay, that's great. I think I just want to remove this part to know same stuff is still in the index, but I'm going to do reset -p. And then press no until we get there. So split again. And now we want to remove this. So this is it is kind of mind blow. What is it? Fucking with your mind, because I want to revert the pluses, but not all of them, just these three. But it is one hunk. I can't split it. So then you have to do the E, edit. E, manually edit the current hunk. So if I do edit, and now it shows me a plus. So it's going to revert whatever I leave in now. So I delete this, then I think it's going to remove this part. Let's see. Oh, no, to remove plus lines, make them space. So maybe that's what I should have done. Yeah, of course. Well, because we want to end up with... oops. Yeah, this is better. This looks better. So if you think of the pluses as a minus, then that's what we get, basically. It's going to revert it. So this exactly those 4 lines are going to remove now. Hopefully. Nope, did not apply. Damn it. No, wait a minute. It did apply. No, it did not. Spaces did not help. Okay, let's just pick the easy way. Let me first try what happens if I just delete them. Still doesn't. Okay, no then. Now I want to revert everything. So I just removed all three of them. Doesn't really matter because we don't use those either. And then the rest can stay. So now I have a get div cached still, but then without those extra switches. And we want to test this, so I'm going to do get stash minus k again. So that the diff is empty, but cached is still there. And then we do a make. Now it does compile. And then we test it again. And it still draws it. Okay, so you can do I'm gonna do get commit, why not? Works. Still works. Get stash pop. Now let's make this a boolean, okay? Well, let's first add the key release mask. So I'm going to say yes to this one. And then maybe all of this as well. So add key release. Actually testing if it is pressed or not. And handling one button specially. Otherwise completely ignored. I mean, this is release, so. And if you press it and it is not that key, then we still do the same thing. Setting running to false, incrementing key press events. I'm adding a break here, but there was already a break there. So this break should actually not be there. I think neither that one. Yeah. Silly breaks. The rest can be applied and then send this message. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's by the time the whole thread exits, so we don't even get here, I think. I still don't want to make it a boolean, so no. And then here, now I can partially add it, which is silly. Might as well say no. And no. And no. And the rest is also no again. Just add it a little bit, but say yes here. No. No to both things. Might as well say yes actually to most of it, except one test. Okay, so we're going to test this part now. The rest must be gone. To the div here. Get stash minus k. Make. Still works. Now, what next? What to add next? See, zooming in on it. The only changes that I did not add it yet is the change the return value and change the loop. It's really weird. Still don't understand what the problem is. But again, git add -p. Oh, pop had a conflict. Yeah, remove those bricks. Yeah. I don't want to get rid of those bricks. And what? Oh, I never said that. Yeah, no, what? This, what the F? It applied everything. Changes to be committed. All the previous pops just put it in the working directory. No, that sucks. Okay, so basically I want to undo my last commit. So also forget, I always forget how to do that. I know this difficult stuff here is not necessary. Top git no undo last commit not pushed. That's the one that we look for. It's the same as this one. Git reset heads. Maybe even better to explicitly add the one there. So probably doesn't make any difference. Okay. I'm gonna go with this one. So let's cause it to return a Boolean value, which I then ignore everywhere. That should not make any difference either. So we can just do get window.h, get add window.cxx. And then we do again a get stash. Get stash minus k. Still doing. Probably something stupid by now. Still branch. Okay. So I'm only testing this thing here, which means that this must be the problem. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I see it. Now I see it. Now it has been proven that this must be the problem. I finally realize what the difference is. The difference is that in this case, it blocks in this line and then leaves the scope, destroying everything that was created in this scope. And in the new version, we leave first the scope and then we block. So because we leave the scope, objects are being destroyed, and that destruction causes the deletion of everything that we did wrong. Right, well, that took an hour, but now at least I understand what the problem is. Yeah, then you can't do this. You just have to test it and then exit. So these changes are not good. And of course I have many of those. So annoying. Oh, let's first fix it in one. That this must become again while true. And then this must become what the fuck? No. Well, I did draw it, but then they started dragging. How is that possible? Oh yeah, and the close doesn't work anymore. Yeah, what? What stupid thing did I? Oh yeah, that. Nobody told me. No, everything works. Finally. So you can close it again, and we can still close it like that, and we can close it like that, and we cannot close it with this button, but I can close it with this, and even if I press this button, then dragging still works. Yep, now everything works. Therefore, edit the file that we fixed, and then edit everything else to make copies of that. Well, let's read. Yeah. Student chips. I'm gonna make this a while true everywhere first. What? Oh yeah, okay. This one does not call handle dragging, so it doesn't handle anything at all. Handle input events. I mean events. But that one should definitely work. Session false fields. Oh, that's heck. Yeah. This is okay. Which one was that? Circle Bezier. Eventually, I'll run one that actually works. No update here. We can drag, so this does do the dragging, so I can now close it. Yippee. Intersecting lines, I think, is coding. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. No, not really. Running on more often than off. Seems unrelated. Bitrot. God, I hate it. Oh, okay. I just turned it on while it was already on in main at the top. You could do if something turn it on. DC cairo window. I think I have an is on only, not an is off. Yeah, it's faster than light simulation. And then eventually it stops or not. Yeah, thing. Let's test. What else do we have? Is it a test? Yes. If your middle school teacher tells you that you can only draw a parabola through 3 points, and here's the proof that you can draw a parabola through 4 points. 4 points, oh, parabola. The only trick is, of course, that it's rotated if necessary. I was a smart kid, but I never put my finger in the air and then said, sir, that's not true. You can draw a parabola through 4 points if you rotate a parabola. If you allow rotated parabolas. Yeah, no, it didn't occur to me back then. I did, however, put up my finger in university to correct a professor when he said that. There, never mind. I had thought about that one in advance. Some kind of Gedachte-experiment by Einstein, where he goes wrong. It's just wrong. The experiment is that if you're in an elevator, closed elevator, then which accelerates or not, then you cannot, well, closed box, whatever. You cannot feel or measure in any way the difference between being in a rocket that is being accelerated or standing on a planet and feeling the gravity. And he used that fact, between quotes, to derive some of his theory. But it's just bullshit, because if you are standing on a planet, then the gradient of the gravity is non-zero. In other words, the gravity lines point to the center of the planet. They are not parallel. And if you're in a rocket space, then they are 100% parallel. So it's not true. It's almost true. No. They try to divide by the gradient. You're not allowed to divide by zero. You are allowed to divide by non-zero. So it's totally not the same thing. In fact, when I was 18, I did derive something. That's why I put up my finger then. I did derive that the speed of light is not constant, but depends on the gradient of the gravity. If the gradient is non-zero, the speed of light is a little bit slower. That's the 12th digit. So here on the surface of Earth, the speed of light is slower in the 12th digit. Because, well, that's what I derived when I was 18, and I can't find back my paper, so I have no idea if what I did. I really have no idea anymore what I did. But the only thing I remember is that it's the prediction is kind of the linear. I mean, it's basically the same as the time dilation that the normal theory predicts. Time goes a little bit slower while you're on the surface of Earth. So it's a matter of how you look at it. Either time goes slower or the light goes slower. I don't know how to do. I'm too stupid these days. Let's test. Do I really want to run all of them? Okay, I think it works. Now, what were we working on? I was working on that if I hit the print screen button, this button, then I want to do something. So so now it blocks here. I press the print screen button, it returns true, so we don't break. And we go to the top of the loop, which then does a redraw. And hopefully I can use the redraw to draw to an SVG service in this case. However, I'm not convinced everything is redrawn. I think what it does is normally it erases everything. Yeah, like we leave the scope, so it erases stuff. I think all of these things. This is destructed, this is destructed, this is destructed. All these objects are destructed, which as a result causes us to override previously drawn stuff with transparent pixels, and then they are erased, and then we draw them again. But I also have stuff here, for example the slider. Well, it's then actually a different story. Sliders double difficult. These are draggable. So I create a plot point, create 3 points, and then I register them as being draggable, which I think causes them to be redrawn anyway as well. There must be something that is stationary, isn't it? These are draggable. Yeah, maybe everything is redrawn. I mean, not necessarily everything is redrawn, but in this case it is. That's like, yeah, well, the grid itself, yeah, the background in the background layer, the grid itself is not redrawn, I think. Is that orange? Thank you for telling me. Okay, so yeah, it's not that easy, is it? I mean, it's not easy. Most of the drawing has to do with the plot, I think. So I have a plot object here. And then drawing means calling a function that starts with create on the plot. Also inside the loop, create circle, create text. So you would say that if I set a flag in the plot object that I want to print the next frame, that then maybe I can intercept everything and then have it draw to an SVG service. So what I really want is that if this detects that we want to print, we'll have to carry that over to the plot object, I think. Why is the handle input event a member function of window? I guess it's yeah, these are coordinates relative to the top left of the window and stuff like that. So it's really a thing of the window. But grabbed point. Looking at this line here, seems that the window here knows which plot it is. I thought I had only one plot. Oh, slightly confusing here. It's clickable plots. Yeah, if you click on something, then it finds out here which index belongs to that. So let's say everything that's draggable, I've pointed you can drag, yeah, but just always a point. But well, they can be restricted, so they can be forced to be on a circle, and if you don't try to drag them, then they stay on the circle anyway. You can drag them around on the circle, or you can drag them over a straight line, but you have to click precisely on a certain point, and then that is being found here. But why the hell would that be a different plot? Okay, so that's filled with the pointers to the plots that are passed to register draggable. I guess you can have more than one plot in a window. Yes, I wrote the code, but hey, my memory doesn't last longer than 1 hour. This is all new code for me. Register draggable is being called. See here, I'm just calling plot, 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 plot. So all of these points are the same plot. And if they're not, then hey, maybe you want to know that. So, I don't know, I probably need... yeah, okay, which plot do I want to print in, you know? Or I can just run over all draggable objects, find all plots and print them all? Nah. So you can puzzle lambda, and then that gives you the possibility to restrict it. So this one is restricted to a circle. These three. Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, suppose I have a window with multiple plots. So a plot being, an X and a Y axis with a title above it. Yeah, I could have more than one of those, I guess, in one window. And then press the print screen button. Do I print a whole window or just one plot? I could make an SVG file per plot, or I don't know, actually. I don't know. Such a thing is hard to decide when the only examples that you have just one plot. You could say I hover with my mouse over the plot and then I print a button. Well, then the mouse button, the mouse coordinates, I mean, matters. Currently I'm sending 0, 0 though. Not even sure if I know the mouse button at the moment that the key is pressed. Oh, I do actually. Well, let's see what we can print it and then see if I have the mouse coordinates at the very least. So if I put my mouse here, say, and I press print screen. Oh yeah, here, receive key press with the coordinates 239,552. Where's my print screen? So if I move my mouse over there, No, it's changed. What is this point? 99, and this point? Yeah, that's 0, 0 here. Top. So there should be a way, if I hover with my mouse over this thing, that's just my scroll wheel. To detect which plot it is, if I can run over all plots, and each plot knows which part of the screen it overlaps. For example, in this case, I don't think I want to print this part. It's just an input thing. I just want to print the plot itself. Okay, maybe I should have bought a color laser printer. I went for a black and white because I didn't see the point of using colors. Thinking that I was really stupid, I think, because I thought colors are for photos, and I'm not going to print the photos. So black or white is good enough, thinking about text. And I see this beautiful graph and I think, maybe I should have bought a color printer. But yeah, in the end I just bought it for chess diagrams, which also look better with colors. Everything look better with colors, but it's just not necessary. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop and make food because yeah, it's just time to eat, and or at least in 1 hour maybe I'll be ready then to actually eat, and that will be way past 8 p.m. then. Way past 8 p.m. Okay, so I need to store all plots and know the coordinates in pixels, mouse coordinates. Seems like a list that I should store in the window then. If the window knows all plots and all coordinates, then it can convert my my mouse plus print screen button press into a print this plot thing. Maybe just call memo function on the plot saying that it must be printed. Set a flag. Yep. Something like that. So I need a connection between window and plot. I don't think I have that, except for register draggable, which is separate from that. Maybe should pass a window. Currently passing window geometry. Might as well pass the window itself. Nah, that's nonsense. I have to pass a geometry. How is this plot associated with that window? Come on. Must happen somewhere. And I'm not talking about this. Oh, I think that plot is just the axis and the grid. And it's added to the background layer here, and the background layer comes from the window. So that would be the connection then. So we create a layer. Does that thing know what the window is? To create background layer, he turns to the pointer to a layer type. Oh, this layer type is being passed. So we return a layer here. Yeah, the layer knows the window. Oh, we're talking. So this thing, the background layer, knows the window, and then we're doing plot add to background layer. Then we have the connection. Add to so we could get the window from the layer here and then say add this plot. Something like that. Although I don't maybe, yeah, well, no, I don't think I will. I guess a plot is only associated with a single window. It would be kind of stupid to show it in two different windows at the same time. It's not a given though. I mean, if we do it like this, this is my own vector, which is just a normal vector, but then only accessible through a special index type, so it's not an int. You cannot you cannot access the elements of this vector with an integer. You have to use a plot index. But that makes only sense if I store the value of the plot index somewhere, so I can use it then as index for this vector. And that doesn't really seem to make much sense actually. So let's just make just use a normal vector without an index. I'm also not sure that they are printable makes much sense. Let's just call it plot, whatever. And I just added a function which was called add plot, plot pointer. And yeah, I mean, now if you were very, I mean, this doesn't really test or protects you against adding the same plot multiple times. But it's not even a user function, add plot. It's called my own code, so I guess that will work correctly. So it's added to the window now. At the moment you add a plot to a layer. So for example, if you add the same plot to two different layers, then you have a problem. I mean, problem. And all kinds of plots you might get duplicate plots and stuff, but even then that's not really a problem, I have the feeling. I don't know. I don't want to test for it yet. So rather just test if it compiles. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm going to make dinner. So I'll be back later, okay? And I'm gonna make my house warmer because this is ridiculous.